Yo, I want to welcome everyone back to the Doghouse. It's your boy Cash. You know, I got my brothers with me. You might have seen them on the Boxing Voice, the championship rounds. I got my man Bump with me, and we got we got a super special guest tonight, man. I gotta give him the proper introduction, man. We've had a lot of big names on the show. You know what I'm saying? Am I lying? We've had some big names, right? Tell me when I'm lying. But I'm excited, man. It's a bad motherfucker right here, man. Former boxer, current trainer, and one of the baddest man on the planet. Him and his son, they out here moving and shaking. Junior out here knocking shit loose. Right. 2 ways to Sunday, man. Don't play with these dudes, man. They are not playing, man. He's a phenomenal boxer, man. Negotiator, businessman, trainer. We talking father and trainer of the WBO welterweight champ, Brian Norman Jr. We got Brian Norman Sr. What's going on, fam?
What's going on, Phil? What's going on, man?
Ain't
the
shit, man.
assassin.
You outside, man. Every time I scroll down my page, I see you. I see you with Greg Hackett. I see you with Mill City.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Listen, I promise you, I'm not supposed to be doing this interview right here. Cause B told me today to stop for a minute, but I had already told you I would. He told me that this morning, but I had already told you I would. So I was like, "Cause I was good. I'm a man of my words. So I'm gonna do it anyway."
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
We want to do a little different twist, man. Before we get to the big fight coming up and all the shit that's all over the net. We want to dig into your history a little bit, man. You grew up in Georgia, right?
You know what? That's why I can circumvent. If we can do this without talking about my son and Devin Haney, then we'll be fine.
We're gonna try to do that. That's gonna be a little difficult, but we
because that's all he worried about. He like we beating a dead horse. Like we got 3 months, over 3 months. Like what I'm saying, what we gonna keep talking about? That's what he's saying with me.
I feel.
So I mean, I'm still I still talk boxing all day. You feel me? But yeah. But let's chop it up.
Georgia, ATL, Decatur. What part of Georgia you grew up in?
I'm from Decatur. Decatur, which is you know about Atlanta.
A little something. I've been out there a couple of times. Yeah.
Well, Decatur is one county over, really, literally.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it. I know enough to know that we better ask the difference between Decatur and Atlanta. So
right. Decatur wins greater, baby.
Go. Straight from the deck.
I told him this, big brother Brian. I said T.I. or Shorty Low.
I'm gonna have to go with T.I. man. I'm gonna have to go with
T.I.
I'm gonna have to. Shout out Low. He's a legend. He's a hood legend and a city legend or whatever else. But you gotta understand and you gotta respect where T.I. came from and what he did. Even though T.I. really not even from the hood like that. T.I. from like Riverdale. You know what I'm saying? But he did it. He did it the way he did it. He made it work for him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, since we doing that, I got one for you. Then Jeezy or Gucci?
I'm Team G, man. I always been Team G, but
Snowman.
I'm Snowman, yeah. Because let me tell you, it's the difference. He Gucci, he make gutter music. Gucci make hood music. He made music for the Negroes in the hood.
No doubt.
Jeezy made, you know what I'm saying? It can go worldwide. You feel what I'm saying? It can it translate over. You feel me? It cross over.
Before we get into the upbringing, I got one more question. Was you around when Meech and them was going crazy out there?
Yeah, 05.
Nuts. It was nuts, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep it at.
You was a fighter then back then too.
Yeah, I was. 05, yes sir, I was. Definitely was.
Magic City out or nah, right?
Say
Magic
again.
City, you was in Magic City throwing it out or nah?
Nah, that's what they were doing. I was a struggle. I was on the east side. So you got to know I was on the east side. See, that's the difference. I was on the east side. I was at pinups. I was at strokers. That's what I'm telling you. I was on the east side. Yeah, I was at Blaze. You feel me?
I was at Blaze, man.
All right, man. Talk about your upbringing and how you got into boxing, real quick.
My upbringing was, I didn't have no struggle story. Like, I was a 2-parent home, mama, mother, father, whatever else. but I was a trouble child on my own, right? Just because I just was in my head. You know how that go. But now Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks is what made me want to box. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. Y'all had to check the year. I think it was like 86. If it was 86, I was like 7. 88, I might have been like 8 or 9. But that's what made me want to box, and I wanted to box from forever. From when I saw that, it was like I said, it was an event. Everybody got your popcorn. Everybody was ready. You know what I'm saying? It's on the satellite TV. I was at my grandma's house in the country. Man, we put that TV on, man. That TV was, the fight was over in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, word.
So ever since then, man, I mean, Mike was the man, and I just love boxing. I wanted to ever since then. So I ended up going to live with my grandmother in South Carolina, and she put me in South Carolina, right on the other side of Augusta, Georgia. She put me in boxing there, just to get me, because out of mind is a devil workshop. So she put me in boxing just to give me something to do. Of course, because I wanted to do it anyway. So she wanted to give me something I like to do, and that's how I got started.
That's official.
So I don't want to fast forward too fast, but I want to ask you about some of the bigger moments in your career, because towards the end, and I think this is what will make me respect fighters, because towards the end of your career is where you had some of the bigger fights. You fought John Pascal. Every fight, these fights are undefeated fighters too. You fought John Pascal.
Right.
You fought what's my man? The 2 Dominicans, matter of fact. You fought
yeah, I know you're talking about the Dominic Way and Guerrero, Dominic Way, and there was one more too. Edwin Rodriguez at the time. Edwin Rodriguez at the time.
Yeah. So when you fought those guys, right? Like in those moments, again, for some people may have been looking at, they may say that was the backside of your career, but tell me, where were you at, both business-wise and personally, when those fights were coming around? Maybe the John Pascal fight, they had you as an opponent, but what got you to that fight? Like, what business decisions or otherwise got you to John Pascal fight?
I mean, I was just a fighter at heart. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing behind me. I had nobody behind me or whatever. I was just a fighter at heart. I fought a few times on ESPN, so I was on a couple of networks before. I fought Joe Green in Madison Square Garden up in New York before. So I had been around. I had been places, and people in the boxing world knew me. They knew who I was. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, they gave me some chance. I was one that wasn't gonna say no. You feel me? So, but at the time when that happened, I ended up catching vertigo towards the end. It was not Pascal. I was fine. Okay. It was, what fight was that? It was I fought a guy second time named Henry Buchanan. I fell off my motorcycle. Man, it was crazy, man. I fell off my motorcycle. I fought on Wednesday night fights. I don't know if y'all remember Wednesday night fights. Y'all remember Wednesday night fight?
100%.
Yeah.
So I fought on Wednesday night fights. At the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hef in the backyard. They got a ring up in the backyard. Got butt naked girls out there painted with all the ads on them. Like, bro, that was my time. I fell off a motorcycle because just I'm feeling good, and I fell off a motorcycle. Bro, and I just wanted to go for a ride before I left, and tripping, man. I went for a ride because I left Sunday. You might want to say Monday morning. It was Sunday night going into Monday morning, so I was out chilling, feeling good. I was supposed to leave for the plane in the morning. Right. Man, I just go around. I'm riding on my bike. I'm popping wheelies or whatever. I done went down, bro.
You and the Hefner mansion, that'll give you vertigo too, because you're gonna be looking back and forth all night long.
I went down, man. So after I was finding that fight, I was messed up, my back and everything else. If y'all ever see, I got tattoos on my back. That's what that was covering, the road rash, because I had road rash on my back, my shoulders, and all of that. So I fought that fight with road rash, but like I said, I fell down Monday morning. You might as well say like 2-3 o'clock Monday morning, and I flew out Monday morning to go get to, the fight Wednesday night. Yeah. So anyway, man, but after that fight, I was never the same. After that fight, I was never the same. And then, I had vertigo and had my little issues or whatever. I didn't know what was up. But then Fernando Guerrero, that was winning because I felt great in that fight. I felt great for the training camp. Situation had been happening, but then I was like, nah, the way that happened was crazy. Like, I was fine. I was okay. You know what I'm saying? Then, yeah, he hit me with something. I'm falling sideways, and I felt fine. I wasn't even buzzed. I just couldn't really stand up straight like I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. But
Dang.
it is what it is, man. Everything happened for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So I figured when my son started to make waves and do what he do, I figured that just happened to be my reason. It happened to be my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come up in the amateurs the way I should have came up in the amateurs because I had kids and I couldn't travel. I couldn't go to the regions and the nationals. I couldn't do nothing but state level stuff or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? I learned all of that prior to that. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with my sons, dealing with my boys. I got 2 boys that box. I had my oldest son, he 31 now, and Lil B. So they fought. And I dealt with that, dealing with them, and the other fighters dealing with them. So I mean, and then plus with my knowledge that I had already had from the pretty much 15 years at that time before,
Right.
I'm like, I mean, you know, just all setting in. It was a whole nother level. And I remember thinking and figuring out myself, probably when B was probably finna go pro. I was like, I wasn't even ready to go pro. Like, I done fought a whole pro. I'm serious. I fought a whole pro career. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, I didn't have the knowledge that I needed at the time, and I didn't have the people around me. So I really wasn't even ready to go pro at the time I went pro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it is what it is. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Everything happened for a reason. It was a perfect recipe to get my boy the way he is today, and here we go.
You mind if
Let's
I
talk
ask
about
him
that.
a quick question?
Go ahead, Bump.
So let me take you back to your very first moments, right? You're going, your first 3 fights are in Atlanta.
Right.
So you're going, I think your first one is Franklin Thomas, something like that.
Right.
You're in front of your hometown crowd and you're making your debut.
Right.
And with what you just told us, what is the feeling going into the ring, going into the arena, stepping into that very first fight, and you got all your people there?
Well, at the time, here's the good thing, and that's why people say that you should start young. Here's the good thing about that at the time. If you're a certain type of person, and I told B this too, that this is what gives him the advantage, and y'all can take this for yourself too, or your audience or whoever. I was a certain type of person that I really, really believed I was Superman. You know how we kids, you believe when you are that type of person, like all kids are not that type. You know what I'm saying? Some kids are. I was the kid that thought I was bad. Like I fought all the time. Like I was a kid that really, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the baddest thing walking. I'm serious. You had to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? Really all the way till I was grown. So at the time when I first fought, I was excited, man. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous or whatever. I was excited. I wanted to show out. I wanted to do my thing. And I mean, it was an amazing feeling. It was an amazing feeling.
So I want to talk about too one thing that that experience. You talked about having that experience, and by the time you looked at your boys, you was ready to guide them, right?
Right.
In boxing, it used to be a stigma, you know, with your dad, you know, involved in, you know, how that relationship. Did you have any like were you concerned, you know, at you know, people's perception of, you know, the father trainer and manager, or did you want to like find a trainer for your sons at first before you decided to take the reins on them?
No, not at all. That never was a big deal to me. That never was a big deal to me. I never had a problem with that. That really just became a thing when my son got to the level he on now. It wasn't even a thing when he was 20-0. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it just became a thing when he fought Quentin Randall on Top Rank and Tim Bradley started talking trash. Other than that, it never was a thing. I never heard about it, never got any backlash from it. I had one female that I was dealing with at the time, way back in the day when B first started. I was already training my older son. I don't even remember why. She was a fighter too. I can't remember why she said it, but I listened to her like a fool. But I went and got it back. She told me, I think you need to let somebody else train him or whatever else. I don't even know why she, like I said, when I think about it, I don't even know why she said that or what that was even about. But I listened like a fool. And I did let him go with my old trainer though, so that was good. I let him go with he was the trainer that was helping me out. I ain't gonna say he was my old trainer, but he was the trainer. Yeah, I'm gonna call him my old trainer. Yeah. I'm gonna give him that respect. He was my trainer that was helping. Huh?
Give him some credit.
Yeah, no, he get a lot of credit. He get a whole lot of credit. He taught me a whole lot. Yeah, no, it just, the reason I said that was because I was switching around. I pretty much was by myself in the end, and I was switching around using different people. But this trainer in particular, no, he helped me a whole lot through life, personal situation, and everything else. So now, yeah, he got to get the credit for that. So yeah, no, I'm gonna call, yeah, definitely my trainer. So anyway, I sent them to him, and he had them for a minute. Then, I was told that I think my son went to a national, and they was like, "Bro, he was with you, man. He would have won that." And ever since then, I went and got him back, and he won every national he went to except one. Every national me and him went to, he won except one.
And I want to say this. This is me saying this. This is nobody else saying this. You're in good company because Tim Bradley, he levied the same criticism against Jai Tucker and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And look how those fellas are turning out. And I think Tim Bradley might have had that perception because I believe he had that similar dynamic and people doubted his dad's ability to bring him far. And maybe that's what people put in his head. So I think that kind of, that's just something that's his bias. I'm saying that nobody else is saying that.
Yeah, I don't, bro. Again, I've been around boxing a long time. I've never, y'all telling me this didn't just become a thing 2 years ago about father and son?
Remember Angel Garcia? They criticized Angel and Danny. Remember Andy?
But it wasn't a worldwide thing like as a whole father son duos. It wasn't like that though.
Yeah,
Shane. They criticized the other folks. We're not gonna bring up yet. Don't need the pop. We're not gonna go there. But there's been a lot of criticism. Let's be honest. They've been criticizing folks.
I got you. I mean, again, that's within the last 2 years. It just to me, I never really heard it as a big thing unless I just wasn't paying it no attention whatsoever. Because I must have been blind to the fact, lost in the sauce. Because I promise you, I didn't start hearing it until a few years ago. And of course, like you said, I heard it with more people than just me. I'm just saying, I just started hearing it like it was a thing and reading comments and talking about no dads in boxing and like, what are y'all talking about? Where did that come from?
You know what I think too, though? I think that, with Angel and Danny, Angel's like super loud, super obnoxious. He was like the mouthpiece for Danny. We know what Bill, Bill's a slick talking, fast talking, promoter type of dude. And even Kenny Porter with Sean was like that. So I think maybe the louder they got, maybe the more they was hating on it. And, they don't like to see, black and brown people really confident in all that shit. So
true. Hey, I mean? They hate that. They hate that. They hate when you're confident. That's what they don't want.
You know what I'm saying? So what was there any apprehension ever, like having your son box, you being a boxer and maybe, damn, I don't want him to go that route because I don't want him to get hurt, or you just knew right away?
No. I did not want him. I didn't want one of my boys to box. My oldest, I kept him out. He started at 6. I made him quit the first day. Wow. My oldest, I did. I made him quit the first day. Then he came back at 12. And when he came back at 12, B was about 6 or 7. So anyway, so I went out there and I was retiring. So I was like, you know what? I was about to retire. So I was like, you know what? The first time I retired twice. So I think, you know what? They asked me, I try to be level-headed as possible. You know what I'm saying? I was raising them by myself, so I didn't have nobody to talk to, you know what I'm saying? The other outside the females that I'm dealing with at the time. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to shortchange my boys or something that I was able to do. You feel me? So that's what it was, man. I said, I ain't gonna hold you back. You say you want to do it, let's get it. Let's do it. That's what happened.
Hey, Pop, did you take real quick? Did you take any of that insight because you had experience dealing with ESPN? You was a guy that didn't say no, right? You dealt with other networks as a fighter. Is that some of the stuff that gave you the confidence? Like, nah, I know how to do this shit. Like, ain't nobody gonna steer my boy. Like, did that play into it, or you didn't even factor that in?
Well, okay. Well, let me tell you. You got to remember. Let's take it back to what I just told you. I used to be Superman, right? I used to be Superman to myself until it was the ring. It was the ring. It was actually a fight. If y'all can go look at my records, Roland Bryan is the dude. Roland Bryan. But I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That he told me I was not Superman. So that was a humbling experience, and it humbles you in life. And like I said, it makes you think certain ways. But that's still for 24, 25 years of my life, that's still who I am. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of came back. I'm just really a confident person in general. Outside of that, knocking me down a lot, and then I rose back up, and then I was just that confident guy again. So once I get something, I get my stride, and I get my feet, and I get the step, and then I am who I am, and I do what I do. Y'all see how I talk? That's all authentic. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not faking nothing. So with that being said,
but I don't get an obnoxious vibe from you like I do. Like I get, you know what I'm saying?
It's so not obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's so it's so paying homage to everybody. It's gonna be so. I'm gonna give you props. I'm gonna give you credit. If you did, I'm gonna do all of that. The only time you're gonna get heat from me is when you throwing heat at me. You feel what I'm saying? When that's all the time you're gonna get heat from me is when you start throwing it at me. Of course I'm gonna turn around. Well, let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? That's just you know how you say fight or flight. I'm gonna fight. That's just what it is. So, but with that being said, you asked me, was I like, I got this? Nah, I was confident. I just knew that I could do it. I knew that, you know what I'm saying, with the talent that B was already showing me, and with me already knowing and going through this, and him already jumping in way ahead of what I could have ever been, you know what I'm saying, on the other side. You feel me? I was like, oh yeah, we in a good place. I just had to get the right people around me, and that was God that did that, you know, bring around Fighters First, Adrian Clark, you know what I'm saying, or whatever else. So, you know, and Cameron Duncan first, you know what I'm saying, that was one of them situations, God rest his soul. That was one of them situations of you just, you know how they say some things are for a season, you know what I mean, not a lifetime. So
Cameron had you while he had Junior.
While he had us. That's how we met, Boots. He had us. He had us. Brandon Lee. He had a lot of fighters at the time, but we was his 3-man ones. We were the 3 ones he was pushing. Oh, Boots Ennis first, Brandon Lee second. This was the order of priority, and we understood that. Boots Ennis was first, Brandon Lee was second, and Brian Norman was third. And the ages was in that order too. The ages was in that order. Boots the oldest, Brandon second, and then B Norman was third. So, you know, that's how we met him. Like I said, we went up there for a train fights. And that's how we met him.
You know, not to jump too far ahead, but since we're talking about Boots real quick, I heard I think a couple of months ago, Bozy did an interview, and he was like, "Yo, ask Brian Norman what happened when he came down here in Philly and everything." Did y'all spar a lot with Boots? He
didn't do that a couple of months ago. That was a year ago. Or last year.
About a year ago. Yeah,
he did that. And
was y'all getting a lot of work in though?
Man, listen to me. That was the whole thing, and that's why I just told you about me. I'm gonna pay homage. I'm gonna give you credit what credit is due. I do all that. Again, you ain't got to remember a lie. I gave the man credit for what he did. No, I'm serious. I gave the man credit.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I gave the man credit for what he did and whatever. Nah, he got off the first time, whatever else, and then the rest of the time he did not. I told the truth. Told the honest to God truth. But we in Philly. These fools take what I said and spin it and say, "Oh man, he got dropped." I'm like, "Oh my God!" You know what I'm saying? You can't even give a motherfucker real. Excuse my slang. You can't even give a person credit. You feel what I'm saying? Without him taking the credit and twisting it and running with it. I don't have to give you that credit. You feel what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. I'm not worried about it. I'm not even worried about that. But yeah, both ain't said nothing about me. I guarantee he ain't saying my name. Both ain't gonna talk about me.
Sparring used to be sacred, man. You know, because like you said, giving homage. Bud was the one that when Junior, when B got on my radar, it was because Bud was giving him his homage, saying, "Yo, you know who I had in this dude in camp." You know, so if you're gonna, to me, if you're not bringing it up respectful, like I don't get why fighters bring it up like they slinging mud. It's sparring. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you one. And I'm off that now because he off that now. But it was I don't even want to go into it. If y'all don't know, y'all don't know. But it was a Tank when Tank first sparred my son. It was because he was very disrespectful to me. So I had nothing but venom towards him until just a little while ago when he came out and finally gave my boys props or whatever else. And now I ain't got no venom towards him. But anybody else or whatever else doing any of that, ain't nobody talking about no sparring. Ain't nobody talking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about? It make people not want to work with you. It makes you skeptical. I mean, you see it so much. We dealing with it right now. We dealing with it right now. I got a phone call today from my manager, you know, because official sparring situation where they're going to start September the 1st. So we like, okay, we got to figure out who we going to get. So in my mind, she giving me names. Where they from? New York. Oh, you mean the same New York that Devin live in? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. She like, yeah, but he don't seem to be affiliated with nobody. So you got to look at all that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It's the nature of the beast, I guess.
I think the doghouse is kind of what started that type of
Yeah, Floyd. Not this
bravado.
doghouse, Floyd shit.
Yeah, yeah. See, and I mentioned that pun intended, right? Because the
Yeah.
doghouse is where all of a sudden sparring meant something, and unless it was like the Rolly versus Ryan fight, the same of things happen. But sparring is different than fighting for real in most cases. So I don't know why they try to blow that out of proportion. With you being a father trainer, and you see how they talk, you got the Floyds and what have you. What is your plan? What do you see for your son? First, you didn't want him to box. Now he's boxing and he's knocking people out. Where do you want your child to go? What is the end goal for him at the end of the day?
The end goal for him, man, he want to be at the top. He want to prove he the best. He's striving to be the best. I came in and we was saying, look, bro, we not saying we the best thing smoking, we the best. No, we not saying that. You feel what I'm saying? But he believes he is. He wants to get that way, and whatever kind of building that's gonna take to get that way, he's willing to prove it. That's it. But it's not gonna be proven until it's proven. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we not one of one like him, hey, man. Look, I'm the this and I'm the that. Nah, it ain't like that. I mean, of course, you're gonna have a certain type of confidence. You're gonna say what you got to say, and that's how we genuinely feel. But we ain't just like claiming that title till we get there. We trying to get there. So we trying to get him in the ring to prove it. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, he want to go undisputed at 147. We gonna go undisputed at 147. He gonna stay there till he go undisputed at 147.
Okay.
You see him do anything else, it's gonna be like a business move where he go up, get a quick bag at 54 or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Or something that makes sense, and then he gonna come back down and he gonna complete his task. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna be none of that. He's sick and he gotta move. It ain't gonna be none of that going on. Nah, unless that's the way God see fit. But for right now, he holding pretty good at 147.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask. So saying you get through Dev, you definitely want to see like a Barrios or I think
Absolutely.
Rolly got
Absolutely.
strapped in now too, right?
Yeah. I think Rolly is the most likely. Only reason I'm saying that is because Rolly is he's the bravest.
That's easy. That's easy work. I'm gonna say it. That's easy work.
He said it's easy work.
That's easy work.
They gonna do Rolly like that, man. I like Rolly, man.
I like Rolly too, but I'm keeping it 1,000. That's easy work.
Yeah. I'm not. Again, I ain't gonna disrespect no fight like that.
I ain't gonna say it. I'm saying it. You ain't say it. I said it. That's
Yeah. I like Rolly, man. Rolly cool
too. He good for boxing. He shit talk. I like Rolly too, but
yeah, I like Rolly, man. But I think he the only one. I can't say that though. Mario said he would. I saw an interview where Mario said he would. I hadn't really heard much from him right before the Pacquiao fight. But then right up until the Pacquiao fight, they was doing several interviews with him, and they asked him right after my son fight, would he be interested? He said, yeah. He said he'd be interested in fighting my son after Pacquiao would have been so. Say it again.
That's a good fight. I like that.
Yeah. So hopefully he will. I mean, we would rather I said rather. Yeah, we would rather because B want that WBC. That B want that green belt. So if anything come available, if let's say all three of them came available with the Patty Donovan and the other guy, and they get their winner, whatever else. But if we had to choose from all three, B gonna go with Barrios route. He want that green belt.
He want that green belt.
Yeah,
that's a good fight. I like that fight too. I see the path clear for y'all at 47, man. And honestly, we needed y'all, man. Like there was like 47 was getting kind of dull after like Danny and all them left and.
Gotta walk. We needed us. We needed us. We needed Devin. We needed Rolly.
Yeah.
If T.O. want to come, we need anybody with a name, anybody that got some kind of, you know what I'm saying, fight in them or whatever else. We needed all that. So I 1,000% agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I want 1,000% agree with you.
Absolutely. When you fought Randall for that vacant belt, like, and you hear and the new, what as a father, forget about training. As a father, what was you feeling?
That day, I mean, I felt good. It wasn't the best performance. It was the first performance where he had two hands. That's first of all. So a lot of people don't know that. That was the first performance where he actually only had two hands. That was the first performance where a guy was actually trash talking him up to the fight. That was the first performance where we made the fight. That was the first performance where the guy actually wanted to fight him as opposed to top rank giving us names and telling us to choose a name. That's how they usually do it. That's how they was doing it. So like they give us a list of names. Hey, you choose one. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. We'll choose the best record they got on there and we'll go for it. And that's what we did. We were trying to choose the best one out of everyone they gave. So in this one in particular, my boy Mark Nash, I guess Quentin Randall had been on his show asking about beating him. I don't know what that was about. So then we said, I was like, shit, no problem, no sweat. So I looked him up. We made that fight happen on Mark Nash TV, on Mark Nash channel. We brought it back to Top Rank. Top Rank knew exactly who he was because they had him on there fighting somebody else, and they made it happen. But like I said, that was the first fight B had that was personal, and a whole bunch of trash talking. But again, I think that goes along with the story of today. When I say today, meaning Devin Haney, because now he know not to do what he did. He know not to jump Nash mothers up. He know not to fight with aggression. He know not to fight with emotions. You know what I'm saying? He going to
right, and that's important.
Right, that's important. So he learned a valuable lesson with that. So now he just going there and do what he do and just let it come, let it happen.
And that's important because it looked like Bill's quieted down. I guess they in camp or doing whatever they're doing, but it looked like Bill was definitely trying to get under y'all skin for a minute.
You ain't never seen Bill this quiet. You ain't never seen Bill. Ryan Garcia, nobody else. You ain't never seen Bill this quiet, man. Bill no. Bill ain't stupid. Bill's smart, like I know he is, because I've seen some of the game plans that he came up with, especially with the what's my boy name? Regis, especially with the Regis game plan and with the Loma. I seen the game plan. I seen what they was doing. It was a game plan with Ramirez. His game plan was to not stop moving because Ramirez had to be set. So that was his game plan. You can go after the first round. I was watching it again today. It was the first round. Between the first round and the second round, he says, I don't know if he told him to keep moving, but he said his feet got to be set to punch. He said that. Bill told Devin that. So that let me know everything else with us. So I know he's a thinking man, and I know the way he strategically got his son the way he is, which he gets all the props in the world for me for doing that. And you know what I'm saying? He paves a sort of a way for us too with that. They both did. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he just don't move like that though. So I know he's smart enough to do his research. I know he done went through my Instagram. I know he done went through, the training videos. He know my son not flat footed. He know.
I was just getting ready to ask you that. Do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because that like your son got better footwork than people want to give him credit for, man. A higher IQ than people want to give him credit for. Do you guys feel slighted a little bit because everyone's saying, "Oh, Devin's footwork is so crazy. You're gonna have to cut the ring off." He's gonna stick. D froze up. Do you feel slighted at all when you hear this commentary about your son?
Damn.
Yeah, I hear you now. You froze up though. Let me see.
Hello.
Oh, we lost him. Hopefully he gonna tap back in. But yeah, he giving us some good stuff. I'm gonna edit this out anyway. That's why I don't like going live during interviews. Because of shit like this. You know what I mean?
The information is solid though. His path for his son, he's got Rolly next if they get past Haney, and then
there we go. Now,
I don't know what that was about. You asking, do we feel slighted? No, I don't feel slighted at all. I don't feel slighted. I feel like I'm in dumb world. I do. I feel like I'm in dumb world as much as I'm like, do people not pay attention to nothing? Yeah. So I feel like I'm in dumb world. I feel like the joke is on me, like I'm on candy camera somewhere. But I also feel just like anxious to just go through it and get there. That's all. Because I honestly don't even believe my son won't even have to show no feet to beat Devin. I don't think so. Because even with the movie he was doing, it was unnecessary. And it's not you don't have to do a lot to take care of that. So, but it is what it is. We're gonna show it.
What you had just said though, I think I had heard you say that on it might have been Mill City where you said that Ramirez's feet have to be set before he punches. And I said, wow, that's fucking. You got a real good boxing mind because a lot of people just looked at that as running and shit. They're running around the ring and Turkey Al Sheik with the Tom and Jerry shit and all that crazy shit. But I heard you also say that there's no way in the world. I don't see a way in the world no way possible that Dev can beat I mean, that Dev's going to be able to beat Brian.
Clip him. That's it. If he clip him or get him in the right spot. Other than that, boxing wise, no. I don't see where.
Did y'all negotiate a certain ring size? Smaller ring?
It's rumored to have one. It's rumored to have a size right now. Whatever else, I don't know if I'm at liberty to say right now.
Okay. All right, cool. That's cool.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask how much, you talk about where you're from, and you guys are definitely seem to be ingrained in the city. How much do you guys feel the support of the city or friends and family or Georgia? Like how much because I know you say you feel like you in Dum Dum. I know it's got to be a lot of love out there for you guys too. How much of the support do you feel?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna always be real. I'm gonna always be 1,000%. It wasn't there. It wasn't there till now. So even from personal boxing people I know, from my people, like my people, and some of the fakeness and then some of the, it ain't real. Like even some of the people who's with me now don't call me now. I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. And that's in boxing. That's in the boxing world. So we honestly did not. That's why you ever heard my son do an interview, he gonna tell you everybody was against us. Yeah. My son was the baddest. He was the bad. He was kicking people's tail in Georgia since he was about 14. It was for about 14, 15 years old. 15, definitely. I'm thinking possibly 14 summer. 15, it was over with. 15, he was whooping everybody. I'm so serious. Grown men to anybody in or around his weight class, he was whooping everybody. So everybody knew that. So I don't know why the hate was there. I don't know why, what I'm saying? I'm not saying like they was openly hating on it, but you can feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can feel it and you can just tell, like, even when it comes to simple stuff like posting, like unless a guy win a fight at the same thing, whatever, they posting them all over there. Hey man, congratulations to my buddy. They won't post my boy like that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, just fast forward through that. I knew what the fate was and I knew what it was. It was like they just didn't want us to make it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt about it. And they just went on over and over and over. Like even some certain people, like I said, you look at them like, damn, you post this person here, they may not even be from the city. I might still post people that's not even from the city. You feel what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna see my boy nowhere around there. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is, man. We take it with a grain of salt. We don't need them. We gonna make it do what it do. We gonna make it do with or without them. So it is what it is. So right now, with that love that we do feel from the ATL, right now we appreciate it. We respect it, especially from the newbies, especially not the old ones, not a lot of the old ones that was already there that already had the chance to give us love. We don't really want it from them like that.
Y'all gonna get a lot of love,
real
man.
Quick, did y'all do Be High on did y'all do Be High show the radio?
Yeah, we was up there. Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's good for the city, man. If y'all did, I'm gonna go back on this channel, make sure I listen to it because I would thought that that would make get y'all connected with.
Yeah, Be High TV. It was the same day you might see Turk on there. Yeah, Turk on there. Turk came in there right after this.
Okay.
I was getting ready to say y'all gonna get a lot of love because y'all got that style, man, that fan friendly style. But y'all ain't got that wild Mexican shit where it's just crash out. You know what I'm saying? Crash out and bang out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, we ain't.
It's control. Yeah, it's control chaos.
Yeah.
He could work behind the jab, goes to the body, got footwork right. You know what I knew when y'all was like super cold, like because y'all went on a run where y'all just sparking everybody from. Boca Chica, or the Boca Chica was stopped, but the Santillan fight, when he was catching him with them uppercuts, and he snatched his soul and then he stood over him. I was like, nah, these dudes is cold. These dudes is cold.
Yeah,
and I think y'all put the world on. I think y'all put the world on notice and shit. But let's talk a little bit about. I gotta ask you this, and I know you really probably tired of talking about this, but I just want to clear this up. The Dev fight, everyone wants to see that. Great fight. I'm looking forward to that. Super crazy card, right? The whole Turkey Al-Sheikh thing, amazing. But before that, when y'all grabbed that strap, we wanted the unification at 47. So I know you know where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? I heard the math wasn't mathing right. I've heard you say that. You know what I'm saying? Then I heard, I think your management artist first saying maybe you didn't want to negotiate so close to going over to Japan and sparking that kid. then I heard you say, well, how real was that? How real was that offer? If Boots was talking about, oh, I can't make 47 anymore, and he went to some doctor who said he's operating at 30% capacity or whatever the fuck, whatever that shit was. You know what I'm saying? What was the real story behind that, man? Respectfully, I don't want to.
No,
I don't want you to.
I'm not on the stand. I'm not even that angry face today. Nah, I'm not even that angry face tonight.
Yeah.
Nah, I genuinely had to find out. Like I actually just texted one of his people. They periodically spam me and just text me all the time. Like, it's crazy, trying to convince me that he ain't who I know he is. I promise you, like, before you hit me, that's why I was right there in my DM before one of y'all hit. I was in my DM right there texting that dude. But nah, it's crazy, man. I figured I was like, I try to pay attention, and I try to be realistic, and I try to be logical about everything I do. That's the only way to go. It got to make logical sense to me. It got to make sense to me. And so, at first, I'm not gonna go to. I want to go too far back, but I'm gonna skim through it real quick. At first, when it was all about they turned it down, y'all know he did it. Even if I turned it down, whoa, wait a minute. And I had an hour to call his daddy, talk to his daddy respectfully, told him they made us this offer. We're gonna accept it, but the money wasn't right, so we're gonna up the money, whatever else. He was saying stuff. Yeah,
this is Bozy doing it or Eddie?
Okay. Give me 1 second. He was like,
this Bozy or Eddie you talking about?
Bozy. I ain't talking about Eddie.
Okay.
Bozy. So Bozy was like, he was like, nah, man, they can't make us do that. He was like, they didn't want to fight. That's what Bozy told me. They wanted to put undisputed. Bozy told me that before that interview came out. That was on the Sunday. The interview dropped on a Tuesday. So apparently they wasn't on the same page. So when they do that, it sparked me and my son, and we're like, oh, well, wait a minute. We try to take this fight. What are they talking about? Eddie comes, y'all can research this if you want to. Eddie comes, I'll say he didn't get the count offer.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
you got the count offer.
Yeah.
So anyway, a whole bunch of hoopla came through that. But bottom line, even with that fight back then,
the count was like $2 million or something in that ballpark, right? Something
it was
like
1.7, and my son's hand wasn't healed in time enough to even make the fight anyway. And the Karen fight was already ordered August the 19th. So we found out later, and it was Eddie playing games with them. So then it took a minute for me to start to realize that it wasn't Eddie. It wasn't just Eddie. It was Boots too. Because I'm talking to Bozy, cooler than the fan out here. He doing the interview talking about they don't want that fight, bruh. I called you. I told you. I called you. So that's what really rubbed me wrong. And when he did, and it was the next one was the interview you just talking about. His wife said he did a year ago, or almost a year ago, when he said about it. He didn't know what happened in Sparring. So you did all of that around the same time. I'm like, bruh. I called you. I told you we wanted to fight. I told you, but the money we got, you about the whole night, but you out here kicking at everybody like we don't want to fight. No, they didn't want to fight. So what I was just telling the guy just now is how they move. I said, listen to me. I can't make them move how they moving. You know what I'm saying? I can't make them move how they move. I went to everybody. I told him even after my son fought in March, and he fought before he fought on April the 12th. I said, listen, y'all talking all that trash. You talking to the wrong person. I said, we can't make no offers because Top Rank ain't on that right now. Edit them on that. I said, go to that man page, spam his page, tell him you don't want to see nobody else but me. You want him to shit me. I'm all over Mill City, everything between. Y'all go look between the date of March 29th, and April the 12th. I told everybody, spam his page, tell them that's what y'all want. Y'all want nobody. No, everybody else is unacceptable. That's what I'm telling them, right? Eddie say, I talked to Bob, they want to make the fight. Paying over the Boots and Bozy. They don't want to make that fight. So now I'm starting to figure out, I actually started to figure out about January. By January, I can't remember what it was. It was an interview. It was something they said. I started to realize that, yeah, that's what it was. I started to realize that Boots wasn't saying undisputed no more. All he kept saying was unify. And words matter. So I started telling the best and B, he don't want to fight you. It's about January, maybe December. I said, he don't want to fight you. He said, why you say that? I said, because he ain't moving like he want to fight you. No, this was after St. made, so it was probably about January, February when that fight was made. So I was like, bro, he don't want to fight you. As I'm telling you, I'm looking at how he moving. I'm listening to him. I'm listening to what he's saying. He don't want to fight you. I wasn't saying he was scared at the time. Still don't think he's scared. I said, I don't know why, but he don't want to be in that ring with you. But I think I figured out why. I think, especially now, I figured out why. I think what it is that they hadn't talked all that trash. The lies was told about their sparring. He gonna wipe the floor with him. Then he got all that criticism for Karen and not wiping the floor with Karen. So even what he going through right now, he's worried about what the world thinks. I've been told people his problem was worried about what the world thinks. I've been told people when he be in the ring doing all that, all that smiling or whatever he be doing I'm serious. When he be getting hit the whole lot, that's gonna go against him. And I see him do that in the gym with my son too. When my son was cracking up on him a little bit, he grabbed the heel and was doing the same as that. I swear to God, he was doing the same. I said, but he got a problem. He got a people problem. He worried about what people.
He's in his own head. Then you thinking
he in his own head. He in his own head. So and that's what it is. That's the only thing I can figure out what it is, because he's a very talented guy or whatever. You know, so I can't imagine being that talented and being afraid. Close it though.
But he went up to 54, right? And you know, like, okay, so when like promoters, you know, when they putting shit out in the media and boxes and managers, we never know really what we don't never know really what's behind closed doors, right? But what makes, and I like Boots, don't get me wrong, I like Boots a lot.
Right.
I'm New York, my boy Amin is out in Jersey, we're close to Philly. But when I started saying, damn, you know what, Brian and them got a point is when the Virgil thing fell through. This whole tune-up list that just came out, when it was like yesterday or the day before, with trying to bring up Speedy Rashidi up to 47 on this crazy shit.
You gotta take that back. You gotta take it back. You gotta take it back, because I gotta get props for this. Yeah. You gotta take it back to about a month ago when I said the reason he ain't got no fight. This before I said the reason he ain't got no fight because he looking for the perfect opponent. I told everybody that. Yeah. I kept saying that. I said he ain't got no fight because he looking for the perfect opponent to make him look good.
Flat-footed dude, right?
Yes, he's looking for a flat-footed dude to make him look good. That's what that was before Turkey She did his interview. Yeah. Before all of that, I told people, I said, because like I just told you, I figured out what it is. It's that Karen hate that he got, which this here is worse than the Karen hate he got. What he getting now is worse than what he got with Karen. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's worse.
Because he doubled back on Karen, and everyone thought maybe he's disinterested in all that shit. And then then he sparked. So once he sparked son what's the European kid?
Stanionis.
Once he sparked Stanionis, I thought his stock was high. He grabbed that belt. I'm like, yo, this is perfect. Him and Norman unify. Shit was the biggest shit in the fucking world. He might have fucked that bag up.
So watch this. Watch this. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
He couldn't get off. You couldn't get off of Karen, but you could get off of Josh Kelly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
They talking about him underperforming again. You know, Eddie did the interview saying about him underperforming against T.O. Like,
but word is they lowballed Josh Kelly from what I understand.
I know the whole deal. They lowball. The going rate is $250. That's what the going rate is. It's $250. Mm-hmm. That's what the budget is. And I was trying to tell Greg. I was trying to tell Greg the other night. I was like, not the other night when I was on Mill City, but I was on Greg channel one night.
Y'all was going at it. I seen it.
No. I was on Greg. Not when I was in the comments. I was on Greg channel it was respectful about a week and a half ago, about 2 weeks ago.
I seen one thing. It was like, yo, y'all gonna know when y'all fuck with Boots. He kept saying that shit. Y'all, you don't remember that shit? I think I seen that last night or something.
Oh, that was last night. Yeah, that was last night.
Yeah, all I know is y'all gonna know when y'all get in there with Boots.
He ain't gonna get in there with us. But that wasn't then. So this was we were respectful. And I was hitting him and I was telling him, I said, listen, bro, y'all gotta understand from a business point. I said, that's why me and you got to fight. I said, I'm not trying to be funny. I ain't saying I'm no rich man or none of that. I'm gonna give you common sense. I said, you got Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn just went to England. He sold out 65,000 people with Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Bean. He do it with Anthony Joshua, was it 95,000? Whatever he did at that stadium, whatever he did with that. Right, so he doing all these big numbers over here. He come to America, and you talk about going to Wells Fargo Arena, and you say 14,000. Yes, 14,000 is a lot of money, a lot of people, right? But not compared to 65,000, not compared to 90,000. You feel what I'm saying? It's not compared to that. So I was like, you got to look at what you're looking at. It's levels. Like we always talk about levels to boxing. It's levels to everything in life. It's levels to money. It's level to everything. Status is level to everything. So I was like, okay, he come over here. Y'all talking about 14,000 in the state. I mean, in the Wells Fargo Arena. So now he comes back. He adds Bam Rodriguez to who we got to pay Bam at least a meal or two, and you got to pay his opponent, and you got to pay all the other star stuff. And now they only do 10. Now they only do 10. It's the second show. Y'all can look this up. Now they only do 10. So then they go down the street, and you got Stan Jonas, and you got to pay Stan Jonas more than you talking about paying us. Yeah. And you had to give him some of your birds, and you had to pay Boots and whoever else on that card. Now they do 9. Yeah. It's going in the wrong direction. It's about the bottom line. So that's what I was trying. I mean, it was respectful though. He didn't really try to, he didn't really try to, kick off nothing over there like that on that. He was understanding. He was just like, it's like the stock market, you buy low, then they go high. Yeah, but you buying high. You got to stop that thinks he's worth or is worth or whatever that's worth this. So you still, the stock is down here, but you got to buy it high. So, you know what I'm saying? It don't work that way. So that's all I was telling him on that one, but it was respectful or whatever else. I was just trying to get him to understand, bro. From a business mind, that's why you see people all the time where it looks like they be booming. It looks like people in and out every day. Then all of a sudden they close down. And you be like, damn, why they close? Right? Circuit City, Best Buy, sometime Walmart's, all kinds of stuff. They close down all the time because the bottom line don't meet what they're trying to do.
I just had a discussion the other night. Sponsorship is so king. And you don't see remember Sugar Ray Duran, you had the 7-Up commercial. Some of the fighters, where's your Burger King? Where's your Crawford Burger? Where's your, you know what I'm saying? Where's your Brian Norman Senior Subway? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's about sponsorship and stepping out there to get this done. As a former fight, well, I still might throw some more fights, but as a former fight promoter, I'm looking at these guys like you can even approach the banks. The banks will do that. You have everybody who comes in be introduced to their checking system. That's the type of stuff that gets you the $100,000 with their logo on the ring and on the trunks and on the back of a hood. Craziness.
I think with that, with what you just said, I think that's kind of why boxing is, or people say, like, to us, I don't think it's dying. I'm sure y'all don't think it's dying or whatever. But again, like Showtime, it looked like Showtime was doing good. The big shows and the big pay-per-views and it. But guess what? Showtime went out of business. HBO, they were the big this and the big that. HBO got out of boxing. That's what I said. The bottom line don't be adding up to what they putting out. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think right now, with so much data to go on, with so much background to go on, or so many failing markets, or so many, I had the same talk with top ranked lawyer the other day. I said, bro, y'all got to change something. And I said, you can't tell me you don't, because this is right when the ESPN, this is when we was in Japan. I talked to him in Japan. I said, you have to change something. I said, I know. I said, normally I would think like, who am I to say this? But let's think about it, bro. Y'all went and gone from ESPN gone. You know what I'm saying? All the Fox. You've been different places and they just leave. Like something wrong. Something is not right.
Where did Todd DeBuff and Bob tell them y'all going? Where you tell y'all going?
I ain't tell us now.
I'm trying to catch you right there. I'm trying to see.
No, they didn't tell. No. They threw out some names, but everybody already heard the names they threw out. But check it out though. Check it out though. No, really, here go the good thing on our part. We ain't got to worry about it right now.
No doubt. You with Ryder.
We know where we going next. You feel what I'm saying? So we ain't worried about it right now. So we cool. We cool to next year.
Yo, I got one more question for you. This fight is turning into the Benavidez Canelo fight, the Mayweather Pacquiao, the Bud Errol Spence shit. You know what I'm saying, with all that. Is this fight gonna happen? I know you say you might jump up to 54 to get a bag, then come back down and handle your business 47. Do you realistically see this fight happening when both of y'all in your prime?
Who?
You your son in Boots, or is this not even going? This is a done deal. It ain't gonna happen.
My son wants to fight him. I'm telling you, he don't want to fight us. I can't say what's gonna change. Right. I can't say. Here's my theory, and y'all hear me out. Just listen to me. I be talking to YSM on the low, And I know he's a smart dude, but man, bro, that y'all from up north, so y'all know that love go deep, bro. It go real deep. It go real deep.
Well,
So I be trying to
Bump from Denver. He a Denver cat, my man right here.
okay. Wait,
I'm from New York. You're from Jersey.
Maybe the Denver cat can understand what I'm going to say. But this is what I told him, bro. This is what I told him. And like I said, I try to think with logical sense. I try to think with everything out of my experience and out of everything else. I got a 31-year-old son, right?
Yeah.
Got a 28-year-old daughter. I got a daughter that's the same age as Boots. I got a daughter older than Boots, and I got a son older. I got 3 kids older than Boots. He's the age of my 3rd child, right? Yeah. So with that being said, I've raised people. I've raised a grown man. I've raised this and that. So I started peep game. I said, as I'm figuring out what's going on, what's really happening with him being so talented, and I figured it was a heart issue, and it's a mental issue. Right. So I say it's not heart. I ain't gonna say heart per se. Y'all might hear me say that in the public. I'm gonna keep saying that, but it's really a mental issue. So anyway, I'm gonna say that just because I'm gonna say it.
Transpired in sparring that got him kind of. All right, go ahead. Read between the lines. I got you.
That's a possibility because the truth is, that's what I'm telling you. B did crack him the very last time. He was cracking him a couple times, and I just told you what he did. He grabbed him, held him, and smiled. I even did an interview on Mill City before, and I was like, bro, the fight not gonna go how y'all think it's gonna go. This is when it was a possibility it could have happened. Yeah. I said the fight not gonna go how y'all think it's gonna go. I said he gonna do one or two things. Either he gonna stay all the way away from my son and box around and try to, pity pat or do something like that, or he gonna grab him and hold him. I said that on the interview.
They think Dev gonna do that. That's what they think Dev gonna do.
Yeah, look, because that's what I saw him do in real life. I saw the man do it. Okay, how big y'all think he is? I saw him do it. He ain't want none of that smoke. I'm telling you, he would not fight him on his daddy. He beat him over there. I sent him on the inside. I told him to beat him at his own game. No, you didn't. Stop lying. And again, I like him. He helped me. He tried to help me out with Stephen Espinoza. It was just so much, bro. And like I said, I was just so understandable. Like I said, that I guess that North love, that Philly love, that Jersey, I guess it go deep, bro. That's all I can say.
We love y'all too, man. We love everybody.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But look, this is what I'm about to say when I say about Mill City, not Mill City, YSM, Jamil. So I'll be talking to my like, bro, you do understand what? That's why I brought up the kids. I know they're grown young adults, but young men, women, whatever. But I said, you do understand that the man ain't really been raised right? What you mean he ain't been raised right? I said, in the boxing game, he hasn't been raised right. I said, they did him an injustice. I've been saying that they did him an injustice. He wasn't allowed to come up authentically like he should have been. Brian Norman Jr. was dropped. He was cut. He was hurt. Not hurt. Yes, he was buzzed. He been hurt. All of that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt. That allows you to come up authentically on a lower level. That allows you to go through your, all of your trials and tribulations. Right. Boots ain't been through none of it. He ain't ever been in the ring with nobody that gave him the opportunity to go through none of it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it happens to every single fighter. Yeah. It happens to every fight. It's going to happen. Yeah. There's no way around it. You gonna get cut, hurt, drop. Most of them drop. Like it ain't but 2 of them that ain't been dropped fighting today, and that's what Canelo and Crawford. And we know Crawford went down with Mean Machine, but we know what happened with that. You feel me? Yeah. Even Floyd been down against Zab. Yeah. But I'm just saying that he didn't come up the right way. So I'm saying now he's in a position where he has to be perfect and pitch a perfect game every game on the highest level under the biggest microscope. So what they did was they did him an injustice. He knows that. That's why he's trying to take these soft touches. That's what this is about. He knows what it is.
I hope that shit happen, man. And I hope I wish y'all luck with that. Yo, I like Dev too, but I like Brian too. So I ain't got no dog in the race. I'ma sit back and but I wish y'all luck. I think it's gonna be a great fight. And yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and we definitely supporters, and maybe you can circle back around when y'all handle your business.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate y'all sharing it up with me tonight, man.
All right, my brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, what's the name of y'all show?
Doghouse.
Doghouse. With D-O-G or what?
D-O-double-G. Like Snoop.
Oh, okay. All right, that's what to do, man.
This is what you gotta tell Boots. You ready?
Yeah.
Not duck me, son.
All right, you gotta give him that keep.
Duck me, son.
All right.
Hey, I mean,
Yes, sir.
tell Ness we whooping Devin Haney ass.
Copy.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Be good. Peace.
Salute.